all agreed to work together with the governor, and the governor also agreed to work together with all of us who are members of the same political family. Yes, just like humans, you have a disagreement, and then you also have a time to also settle your disagreement, and that has been finally concluded today.
Power, betrayal, presidential intervention. 3 words that can describe what went down in Rivers State for months. Rivers State has just witnessed what many are calling a miracle or a master stroke. After months of political chaos, suspended Governor Siminalayi Fubara has reconciled with his estranged political godfather, Nyesom Wike. All smiles, all peace, all photos under the watchful eyes of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. But beneath the grins and the handshakes lies a storm of questions. What kind of peace is this? Why was a sitting governor suspended in the first place? And who's really in control of Rivers? Fubara, Wike, or Tinubu? This is not just a Rivers State story. This is a story of how one crisis exposed the cracks in Nigerian's democracy and raised alarms for 2027. So buckle up, let's go behind the handshake and uncover the deal that stunned the nation. To understand this peace deal, we must go back to the fallout that nearly tore Rivers State apart. When Siminalayi Fubara became governor in May of 2023, many thought it was a smooth transition. He was handpicked by Nyesom Wike, the outgoing governor, and a PDP heavyweight. But what began as loyalty quickly turned into defiance. By late 2023, Fubara started pushing back against Wike's political grip on the state, replacing allies, sidelining loyalists, and quietly asserting control. Wike didn't take it lightly. The Rivers State House of Assembly, dominated by Wike loyalists, struck back in a dramatic twist. An impeachment plot was set in motion. Tensions exploded. Lawmakers defected. Parallel legislative defections emerged. Court battles flooded the system. Government buildings were stormed. Budgets were rejected. And then came the shocker. In March of 2025, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, citing Section 305 of the Constitution, suspended the entire state government. Fubara, his deputy, the House of Assembly, all gone. In their place, he appointed Vice Admiral Ibok Ete Ibas, retired, as the sole administrator of Rivers State. For the first time since 1999, an oil-producing state was under direct federal supervision. From that point, chaos had won until now. On Thursday, June 26, 2025, something extraordinary happened. President Tinubu summoned the warring parties to the presidential villa. Governor Fubara, FCT Minister Nyesom Wike, and the pro-Wike lawmakers, all under one roof for the very first time. What followed was a carefully choreographed peace show. Photos, smiles, handshakes. Fubara declared, "What we need for Rivers is peace. And by the grace of God, with the help of Mr. President, peace has returned." Wike was even more expressive. "We have all agreed to work together with the governor. We are members of the same political family. Everything is over, and enjoy." But what exactly did they agree on?
For me, it's very important that this day has come to be. What we need for the progress of Rivers State is peace. And by the special grace of God this night, with the help of Mr. President and the agreement of the leaders of the states, including our leader, peace has returned in Rivers State. We'll do everything within our power to make sure that we sustain it this time around. Thank you.
Agreed to work together with the governor, and the governor also agreed to work together with all of us who are members of the same political family. Yes, just like humans, you have a disagreement, and then you also have a time to also settle your disagreement, and that has been finally concluded today, and we have come to report to Mr. President that is what we have agreed. So for me, everything is over, and enjoy everybody who believe to work with us, to also work together with everybody. That there's no more acrimony, there's nothing to say we are disagreeing. We have all agreed on everything. So we thank God. For me, it's a day we have to thank Almighty God.
The official statements were vague. There was no signed document, no public communique, no constitutional roadmap for how power would be restored. Yet, all parties emerged with smiles. So what happened behind closed doors? Multiple sources hint at a quiet power-sharing deal. Fubara retains his title, but with limited executive power. Wike's loyal lawmakers return to the assembly and hold legislative sway. Tinubu oversees both sides as the father figure and neutral arbiter. On the surface, peace has returned, but in reality, a political ceasefire has replaced democratic order. In every political deal, there are winners and losers. So let's analyze this Aso Rock Peace Summit. Winner number 1, President Bola Tinubu. Tinubu has once again positioned himself as Nigerian's ultimate political fixer. By resolving a PDP crisis, he expands his influence across party lines and strengthens his grip on the South-South. He didn't just settle the fight, he redefined the roles of engagement. Rivers now bows to Abuja, and Tinubu stands tall, above party, above states, and above structure. Winner number 2, Nyesom Wike. Wike is the comeback king. Despite serving in an APC-led federal government, he maintains dominance over a PDP-led state. He turned a suspension crisis into a power negotiation. With his loyal lawmakers back in play, and with Tinubu's blessings, Wike's political machine is alive once again, and stronger than ever. The neutral player who serves as winner number 3, or maybe even the loser, Siminalayi Fubara. Fubara walked into Aso Rock as a suspended governor and walked out as a reconciled one, but at what cost? He now governs under surveillance by both Wike and Tinubu. He may wear the title of a governor, but does he hold the power? For now, Fubara has preserved his seat, but surrendered his strength. And to the last part of this, the losers, the people of Rivers State, Nigerians in general. For months, governance was paralyzed, budgets were blocked, projects stalled, workers left in limbo, and now, instead of accountability, they are offered a photo shoot. This was not a victory for democracy. This was a deal among political elites, with the people watching from the sideline and Nigerians' democracy underwater. Let's be honest. What happened in Rivers State is not just political reconciliation, it is a democratic warning sign. Here is why. Presidential overreach. Under Section 305, the president can declare a state of emergency, but the removal of elected officials and appointment of a sole administrator has raised serious legal and constitutional concerns. 2. The role of the judiciary. Court orders were flying in and out, many ignored, many contradictory. Rule of law became optional in Rivers. 3. Legislative breakdown. A House of Assembly that operates in factions, with many members meeting in hotels and others in private homes, cannot be said to represent the people's interests. What does this mean? It means Nigerians' democracy is not just fragile, it is vulnerable to manipulation. The Rivers truce is being celebrated as peace, but it may well be the beginning of a new political normal, where power is negotiated, not elected, where loyalty to Abuja tramples loyalty to citizens, and where the will of the people is no longer supreme. Let's zoom out at this point in this video. Why is Rivers State, one of the 36 states, so important? Because it is not just about Rivers, it is about 2027. And here is what we know. Rivers has massive electoral value. In 2023, it played a decisive role in Tinubu's victory. Wike is seen as Tinubu's strongest southern ally, despite being PDP. Again, a stable, Wike-controlled Rivers is essential to Tinubu's re-election strategy. By brokering the space, Tinubu has locked in 2 things. 1. Political dominance in a key southern state. 2. Wike's loyalty heading into 2027. But the implications go further than that. Number 1. Other opposition governors may now fear suspension or federal intervention if they step out of line. PDP itself may be forced to choose a line with Tinubu or risk irrelevance. The lines between PDP and APC are blurring. making it harder for Nigerians to distinguish opposition from incumbency. In short, this peace deal is not just about rivers. It is about building a 2027 firewall, one handshake at a time. But it also created new dangers. 1. Governor under pressure. Fubara is walking a political tightrope between loyalty to Tinubu, deference to Wike, and service to his people. Any misstep and the entire agreement could collapse. 2. Wike's overreach. Wike's continued relevance across two governments, APC and PDP, could spark backlash from both sides. Already, cracks are forming within the G5. Some PDP governors want to move on, others feel sidelined. If Wike overplays his hand, he could lose it all. 3. Constitutional precedent. If a president can suspend a governor and appoint an administrator once, it can happen again. Today it is Rivers. Tomorrow it could be your state. 4. The people's silence. There is a dangerous silence among ordinary citizens. No protests, no massive civil society response, no accountability. Have Nigerians accepted political chaos as normal, or are we watching the calm before the storm? A photo went viral. Fubara, Tinubu, Wike standing together, smiling, shaking hands. The caption said, "Peace has returned to Rivers State." But here's a simple truth, I won't lie to you. That photo didn't end a crisis. It froze it for some minutes. This was not a handshake of resolution. It was a handshake of contentment, of elite's interest, temporal calm, and calculated survival. Rivers is quiet now. But for how long? What happens when the next disagreement arises? What happens when the people, the real stakeholders, demand answers? Because peace without justice is silence, and silence is not peace. What do you think at this point of this video? Was the Aso Rock peace meeting a genuine act of reconciliation or a political cover-up? Did Fubara win back his power or trade it for survival? Is Wike helping Rivers or ruling it from afar? And is Tinubu protecting democracy or rewriting it in Nigeria? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Let's have a real conversation. Like this video if you found it informative. Subscribe for more deep political breakdowns. Share this video with anyone who cares about the future of Nigerians' democracy. This is not the end of the story. It is just the beginning of a new chapter in Rivers and across the nation. Until next time, stay sharp, stay curious, and stay informed. Thank you so much for watching this video on Frank Speaks.